Somewhere in the warm waters of the Pacific Ocean, there's a small orange fish hiding inside the tentacles of a sea creature that could kill almost anything else that touches it. She's the largest one in her group. She's in charge. And 3 years ago, this exact same fish was male. Not behaviorally, biologically male. Her body rebuilt itself from the inside out, without surgery, without outside hormones, without anything except a signal sent from her own brain. If she dies tonight, the next fish in line will wake up tomorrow and start becoming female too, whether it wants to or not. This isn't science fiction. This is a real animal, alive right now. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why its body can do something no human body ever could, no matter how advanced our brains become. But first, you need to see how this actually happens, step by step, because it's stranger than you think. This fish lives inside small groups with a strict hierarchy. At the top, one dominant female, the largest in the group. Right below her, one breeding male. Below him, several juveniles who don't reproduce at all. They just wait, for years, sometimes their entire lives, doing nothing but growing slowly, staying alive, staying ready. Here's where it gets strange. If the dominant female dies, you'd expect chaos, a fight, a power struggle. That's not what happens. Instead, the breeding male begins to change. Within days, his behavior shifts first, more aggressive, more territorial, claiming the space she used to control. Then his body follows. His ovaries, dormant this whole time, start developing. His testes shrink, stop producing sperm completely. His body reshapes, grows larger, rounder. Within weeks, he's not behaving like a female. He has become one, completely, at a cellular level, capable of producing eggs. And here's the part that should genuinely stop you for a second. One of the juveniles below him, one of those fish that waited years doing nothing, now rises to become the new breeding male. Every single fish in that group is a backup plan for the fish above it. Nothing wasted. Nothing wasted at all. This species is the clownfish. This transformation is called protandry. But some species do the complete opposite, born female, later becoming male. That's called protogeny, and the best example is the rasa, a reef fish that lives in harems controlled by one dominant male. If he disappears, the largest female transforms, reverse this time, female to male, again within days. Scientists tested this directly, removing the dominant male in a lab and filming what happened next. What they found was almost eerie. Within minutes, not days. Minutes. The largest female began behaving like a male. Courtship displays. Chasing other fish exactly like the male used to. Her brain flipped the switch before her body even started changing. And here's a question even researchers haven't fully answered. What triggers that switch in literal minutes? The leading explanation involves cortisol, the same stress hormone your body produces under pressure. A sudden shift in the group triggers a stress response, and in these fish, that stress somehow flips a genetic switch that rewrites their biological sex. Stress becomes the trigger for changing what they are. So how is this even physically possible? Human sex organs form early and stay fixed for life. But clownfish and wrasse are born with something called bipotential gonads, meaning their reproductive organs aren't fully committed to either sex at birth. Both blueprints are already loaded, just waiting for the right signal. In most fish, that decision locks in early, but in these species, it never fully locks. The blueprint for the other sex stays dormant inside them, their entire life, ready to activate the moment conditions demand it. And it doesn't stop there. Certain shrimp and reef fish species change sex not once, but back and forth multiple times across their lifespan. depending entirely on their environment. And in rare documented clownfish cases, when both the dominant male and female disappear at once with no clear replacement, some juveniles have shown signs of pausing mid-transformation, developing intermediate tissue, essentially waiting for more information before committing to either sex. Now here's the question worth sitting with. Why would evolution build this at all? Why not just fixed males and fixed females like almost every other animal? The answer comes down to one brutal fact: efficiency of reproduction in small, isolated groups. Clownfish live inside a single anemone their entire lives. They almost never leave. If a clownfish was born permanently one sex, and the only fish of the opposite sex in its tiny world died, that group's ability to reproduce would end completely. But because any fish can become either sex depending on what's needed, the group almost never loses that ability. It's an insurance policy, written directly into their DNA. Think about how humans handle this same problem. If a CEO leaves a company, someone below steps up to fill the role, but their internal biology doesn't change to do it. In clownfish, the promotion isn't just a role change. The body physically reconstructs itself to match the new role. Imagine if, the moment your manager quit, your own body began producing different hormones and rebuilding your organs simply because the position needed filling. Could this ever happen in animals closer to us? No known mammal naturally switches biological sex the way fish do. Mammalian sex is locked in far more rigidly at conception, and our bodies simply aren't built with that same dormant, dual blueprint structure. Some reptiles, like certain turtles, have temperature-dependent sex determination, where nest temperature during incubation can influence the embryo's sex, but that happens before birth. A completely different mechanism from what clownfish experience as fully grown adults. So humans, and mammals in general, are locked in from the very beginning. Fish like the clownfish remain biologically flexible their entire lives, capable of a complete reproductive rebuild whenever their environment demands it. And here's what makes this genuinely unsettling: if you actually sit with it. Somewhere in a coral reef right now, a small orange fish is sitting quietly near the bottom of its group, doing nothing remarkable, just growing, just waiting. It has no idea that dormant reproductive tissue is sitting ready inside its own body, just in case. It doesn't know that the moment the fish above it disappears, its entire biology could rewrite itself within days. It's not thinking about becoming male or female or anything at all. It's simply living, completely unaware that it's carrying a backup version of itself, one that might never activate or might activate tomorrow, depending entirely on events completely outside its control. And in a strange way, that's true of every clownfish alive right now. Somewhere in that reef, a fish that looks completely unremarkable might be, biologically speaking, one death away from becoming something else entirely.